There's a dating scene in Superman 2025. Thought it'd be relevant to discuss, to react. It's going to be her first time watching. Let us know what you think in the comments.
What's this kryptonite stuff called?
It's called kryptonite. Well, as far as we can ascertain, there's none left on the planet.
Here comes the scene. That's me. Having some cans and baseball bat ready to hit someone if they intrude.
3 months ago, we had our first date.
And that's me.
So to celebrate,
Cooking in the
I am
kitchen.
making you your favorite. Breakfast for dinner.
That's your favorite.
You love breakfast.
Yeah, for breakfast. You love it for dinner.
That's such a bad intention. He's like, he made his favorite meal.
Selfish.
First of all, he's in the house. Let's just keep that detail. He's in the house without warning her about it. But most importantly, he's cooking for her. And you're like, oh, how sweet of a gesture. And then she's like, what are you cooking? What are you making? And he says, breakfast. You love breakfast. And she's like, no, you love breakfast for dinner time. I love breakfast for breakfast time. And it was kind of an interesting detail. It's related in that sense that it's what's in your mind versus trying to put yourself in the other person's shoes.
Yeah.
It's like he is in his mind thinking, I love this.
So she will love it too.
She will love it too. Or who can say it's a bad intention? I'm actually cooking something for her.
Yeah.
She has to love it. And it's something that I love too. So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, the person can enjoy the mere fact that you're making something for them. But then again, goes something where it's like, yeah, I enjoy this, but clearly you didn't think of what I liked here. You had a false good intention, let's call it that way. A false good intention that was like a good intention on paper, but that was more about what you had in your mind and what you like than what the other person wants.
And this isn't to grill my boy Clark here or anything. We all know it's good intention. That sort of good intention needs to reflect, oh, what is it that the other person wants?
If you keep interviewing yourself, eventually people are going to figure it out.
But the glasses.
Don't fool everyone forever. And ethically, these interviews are hugely
I'll
problematic.
let you interview me.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't like.
Handle any question that comes my way.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Doesn't mean it.
Superman.
Miss Lane. I mean, come on. My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
Okay. How?
There were no casualties and no significant injuries.
Did you interact at all with the president of Bravia, Vasil Gurkos?
A very small amount.
What's a very small amount? Torture.
No, not torture. Its spikes were like not even that big.
Illegally entered a country, inserting yourself in the middle of
No,
an
no, no.
incredibly
Hold on a
heated
minute.
geopolitical
Hold on a
situation.
second.
Siding with a nation, Jarhanpur, which historically has...
Whether or not Jarhanpur is an imperfect country does not give another nation the right to...
Yes, but brains from a tyrannical regime.
Yes, but you know that's very silly.
I do?
The Moravian government is not
I
well-intentioned.
think that's almost certainly the case, but do I know that? No, I don't. Can we go on now?
He's pissed.
You think this is going well?
I think I'm doing a good job.
Into your own hands and decided unilaterally how to handle this extremely delicate
Gurkos and
situation.
his goons were going to kill people.
Yes, but the results of you seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing
will cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems. This is on the record, Superman.
Okay, well, not the part where I said that.
Yes, that part.
No, that part was an aside.
Afterward.
Why are you being like this?
In offering Lois an exclusive interview, he has expectations of how he thinks it's going to go. And you see the interview unfolds. It doesn't go nearly according to as planned, right? Completely opposite.
He expects that it's fine to give an exclusive interview because she's gonna like it because I'm giving her this special attention to her, this exclusive interview only she can have. So surely she's going to be soft to me, right? On the other hand, she's like, oh, it means the world to me. And she's like, I need to be professional. Surely he's going to understand that. I'm going to need to like be a real journalist here. I'm going to have to like throw real tough questions, like question everything because that's the job.
Yeah.
And then it just slowly escalates to misunderstanding over misunderstanding. I think this problematic is actually brought pretty clearly. It's fun because it goes from like very lighthearted to slowly escalating, and all on the premise of expectations versus actual communication.
Where she is trying to keep him grounded as a character, he takes it negatively because it's not within his worldview or how he understands the world to be. He's looking things very black and white, and that misunderstanding between them, it sort of blows up.
Yeah. And I think something very interesting about this, if we relate it to, some, I guess, actionable tip, communicating out loud what you have in mind and your expectation, rather than just thinking that what you have in mind is the same thing that the other has in mind. They want me to be a really good journalist here. They want me to like ask the tough questions because they want me to look good. Maybe the other person is exactly how Clark is seeing it here, right? He is thinking, I'm not doing that so much so that she does a good job. I'm just doing that so that she stands out by giving an interview, period. Doesn't matter if it's like soft question, tough questions, right? So they have very different things in mind, and it would have just taken, instead of them jumping on the recorder and pressing play, to kind of set up the basis to it. How do we approach this? Are you okay if I actually ask questions that are going to be a bit tough here? Or how do you see this? Because maybe if Lois is like, the only thing that matters to me is to do the job correctly, and he's not aligned with that, let's just not do it. And let's, approach it differently.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it that way, but the transparency, I think, usually resolves these sort of situations. Like you said, if they both spoke about openly what it would mean to each of them, just that little discussion would have made the entire interaction entirely different. We'd be watching a different scene.
Come on, Lois, you know that one specifically irritates
This is
me.
on the record, Clark. I
Oh,
didn't make it
she
up.
said
It's
the
what
name.
people on the internet are saying.
I'm gonna go.
That's risky.
I didn't even notice that.
She said his name on the record.
True.
Time your imaginary interviews with yourself? That's a thing you can do?
I knew this would never work.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Nothing. I told you I wasn't good at relationships.
That went deep.
Okay.
I think this speaks to how men and women don't communicate sometimes on the same frequency. I think what she says in the end is that I knew this would never work. I told you I don't do good with relationships. Clark says, what does that mean? And I think she just says something very quickly. She
Introducing our cat Mocha.
I think she wants the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
1 second.
All good. She's out and about.
She says something that just brushes it off. And Clark says, okay. I think he takes at face value that she doesn't want the relationship because those are the words she's speaking. And she's hurt emotionally, which up until this point, we don't see her as this character that's emotionally based. She's sort of more logically driven. And he takes it and he's like, okay, well, I'll leave. And she turns around surprised. She's like, he actually left. She's like, that's the cue to come speak to me. Maybe she wants space. Maybe I'm misinterpreting that, but I think that surprise.
I think you're pretty much on the money. Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe we're wrong, but like I interpret it the same. Her turning around was kind of like, you're actually gone? I didn't want you gone. I just said I wanted you gone.
Yeah, and the men and women are different. They're different. They speak differently. They have different intentions. She sort of wants him to come back, but she doesn't say it necessarily.
But I'll say this though, it's that's true. I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with communication, period. Like I think I would make this type of mistakes of like saying something and not mean it many times. Although I often clarify later on when I calm down and explain, actually I didn't mean this, but I meant that once I calm down, right? But my point being, I do know many women around me that are actually making it a point to be very much in communication and going against, because I do think that a lot of women, and the more you go back in time, the more women were communicating that way. And I do think it goes a lot with what we're being taught on both sides, right? We're being taught like the man chases the woman, like in movies and everything in the pop culture. It's like the famously known, if you said no, but that's because you want the guy to persist.
Well, you know how men are. They think no means yes and get lost means take me, I'm yours.
And I think there's been an evolution going towards no. Actually, no means no. We want to actually mean what we say. And it's on its way. So I do think that there's still a lot of these scenarios where some women like struggle to express what they want to say, and they're still in that mindset of I'm going to say something, but I actually mean something else. Come back to me and try harder, and come back and try to talk to me even though I said no. It's still there, but I think it's evolving. It's not there in the pop culture yet.
Things aren't always going to be perfect, and there's going to be things where you fail to be able to communicate with each other clearly. Your partner changes over time. This is always something that you're going to have to deal with. Who you are when you first start dating is not who you are after being in a relationship for some time. Things become uncovered just like they did in this scene. And I think it's also interesting to add that, like you said, this dynamic between men and women, how they communicate, both show signs of very emotionally based behavior. You know, Clark, the way he responds to the very tough questions, as professional as Lois was being in this interview, at the end escalates to something very dramatic. I knew this would never work.
Even him leaving.
Yeah.
It may sound like, oh, I'm doing that to live in your space, but that also comes from a place of hurt, right?
Yeah.
I'm hurt. You said that. I'm just going to leave. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like both sides are just very emotionally driven.
Nobody that you're romantically interested in wants that sort of outcome. But when you stand for something and you voice your opinion, it just ends up this way sometimes. Being transparent of how things could go, making sure the other person is comfortable, that could change the total outcome.
And I think I want to end with this. That's going to be probably my last point. But we hear a lot, especially in early dating, like, but you don't want to give out all your cards yet, or you don't want to, be fully transparent, or sometimes you have to play the dating games. I don't think that's the right path ever. If someone takes badly your honesty or your transparency on what you want and the way you want to communicate, that's not the right person. That's just not the right person. Someone who will align with your way of communicating, and someone that will be just as transparent and work with you towards the next date and then the next one, and it will just go simple. It will go very simple because both are very communicative on what they want, and it doesn't have to be you overthinking everything. So a lot of people say like, but when I'm being transparent, the person is getting offended or the person doesn't call me for the next date, then that wasn't the right person. It's not that the method didn't work, is that it wasn't the right person to be with for you. And that's it. And just leave it at that.
There's other fish in the sea. And if you reach that point, it's okay to move on. It's okay to look for someone else. Yeah. Hope that was enjoyable for you guys.
Helpful.
Yeah. And thank you for tuning in. Like we said, small channel here, subscribe, and let us know what movies, clips that you think relate to dating, relationships.
That you'd like to know more about.
All right. Thanks, guys.